They say revenge is like a river, whose bottom is reached only when we drown. That particular saying holds a lot of truth and a lot of water in Saloum, a Shudder original written and directed by Jean-Luc Berlot, also written by Pamela Diop. This is Pamela's feature credit, and this is set in Saloum, a mythical region of Senegal, West Africa. It's filmed on location, by the way. Beautiful fucking locations in Senegal, West Africa. And this centers around 3 mercenaries named the Bengaz Hyenas. No, they're not actual hyenas, as cool as that would have been. These are 3 lifelong friends that have particular sets of skills they human centipede together to accomplish various missions. You need your cat rescued from a tree? They'll fucking do it. You need to find a way to extract somebody from somewhere? They'll do that. You need to, I don't know, have your mail delivered? Call on a mail guy. These guys are really goddamn good, and they use the power of friendship, blind luck, and all their skills. They use all these factors to accomplish missions. And since they're so accomplished at all these accomplished missions, basically, they are tasked with rescuing a Mexican drug lord named Felix, who, why he's there, we have no idea. But they rescue him, they take him on their plane along with a haul that he has, and they're leaving not on a jet plane, it's single engine, but they don't know when they'll be back again, partly because they're escaping the potential captors, and they're the good guys. But unfortunately, their plane has some issues, hits some turbulence, hits a tailspin, and now, unfortunately, we're stuck in that Disney animated series that was really, really bizarre. Really, really strange. Great theme song. Anyway, enough about Tailspin. They have to make an emergency landing kind of in the middle of butt-fuck nowhere. And it turns out that something happened to their plane. Somebody sabotaged it. Oh my god, listen all y'all, it's a sabotage. But they can't stand it. Somebody may have planned it, but they can't set it straight. It's not Watergate. Okay, enough song references. They have to find a way to get supplies, repairs, fuel, and they go on a boat, not the banana boat, and they end up at a compound. Bob. If I mispronounce any of these names, I do apologize. I'm not even going to attempt to pronounce any of the cast members' names because it's set in Senegal and it's got French subtitles. So let's be perfectly honest. I don't even want to attempt to, do a disservice to any of the talents in this movie. And there are some talents in this movie. I will say that right now. Tip my hand a little bit. But they end up at this compound where there's Chata, there's Rafa and Manuel, along with Felix. Those are the mercenaries and the drug lord. And Chaka's like, let me do the talking. He does the talking, sweet talks the person that's running this compound. And it's basically they have to find a way to get supplies that they have to blend in. There are a few other people there, and it turns out the way this compound runs, kind of in the middle of nowhere, everybody has to do certain chores on certain days. Things switch around. Some plant crops, some do basic repairs around the compound, some stay there and make sure that people are safe. Some go deliver packages to other villages that are nearby. So nearby that basically they have to cut away because they're probably about 10 miles away, and they drive the few vehicles they have. And it turns out that some of the villagers and these other villages, as opposed to villagers in cities, are a little bit strange. Something's going on with them. They have strange stuff going on with... They're acting very, very odd. Some have weird shit going on with their ears. Wonder what the hell that's about. But the mercenaries find that out a little bit later. There's also a deaf-mute girl named Awa. And then it also maybe comes to pass that they're not that good at disguising the fact that they're fucking mercenaries with a Mexican drug lord. And they have to basically fight for their lives when it turns out that this compound isn't the sanctuary that they thought it would be. They have to solve this mystery before their history. This ain't DuckTales, bitch. Woohoo. So, I knew nothing about this movie going into it beyond the description and beyond reading up about it and everything. I was like, okay, set in West Africa, French subtitles, 84-minute runtime. Looks interesting. Sign me the fuck up. I will say right now that even though it's 84 minutes, it takes its time setting stuff up before it really kicks it into high gear in the second half. It's a tale of two movies. Now, I will say, stick with it. It gets better. It's not that it's bad to begin with. In fact, pretty much right from the word go, some good stuff. It is very indie. They use a lot of camera tricks with, any fights and stuff like that. And as far as like some sweeping camera stuff during any of the action scenes, quote unquote action scenes, there's a lot of ingenuity used here. Beautiful cinematography, beautiful locations, great acting, especially from the main 3 leads. And the young lady that played Awa, she did a very good job as well. There are a few other characters, but not too many. Not so many that it gets bogged down for the fact that it's 84 minutes of runtime. And boy, once it hits that second act and there's a reveal, oh, I see. That's where we're fucking going. That's pretty much what I thought. The thing, and the funniest thing about when they go to that particular compound, ban all hope, ye who enter here. Yeah, that's what you want to hear. Then they see people screaming coming out of a cabin. Oh boy, yeah, that looks inviting. That looks really inviting. But it's the only way that they can survive. They have to find a way to find sanctuary. So there is a bit of a shocking reveal. Maybe not so shocking. You probably can figure it out, from the word go. But the way they do it, they present it well. And then once they reveal that, then it's bam, bam, bam. They just kick things into high fucking gear. And it becomes really goddamn weird, but really goddamn great. I would encourage you guys to absolutely check this out because this is on Shudder. Shudder's a great service. No, I'm not sponsored. Wouldn't mind being sponsored, but why would they sponsor my little show? I don't make any money. Shudder's great, though. Great for weird horror, great horror, old, new, indie, big budget, doesn't fucking matter. Shudder is a great goddamn service. Get Shudder. Don't get AMC Plus. Shudder's better. AMC Plus, less so. Had AMC Plus for 2 months. Wasn't very good. So anyway, this movie has beautiful locations, great acting. It does show the bond between these three particular ones, and one of them might be hiding a secret. Gee, wonder which one's hiding the secret. I mean, you could probably figure out what the fucking secret is because there's weird flashbacks and weird imagery where, like, there's a child running. Why is there a child running? What the hell's going on here? It certainly is a different type of movie while also being somewhat grounded. Yes, it gets a little bit ridiculous, I guess, in the second half, but it also still feels grounded. It feels like something that could actually fucking happen while also being fanciful and a little bit weird. But man, for that first half, something's building. And then when it kicks it, it's really goddamn good. I am going to get into spoilers, though, so that's your fair warning. We're going to get into that. Really, really great, though. 3, 2, 1, and spoilers. Okay, here's the spoilers. So Shaka, it turns out, Shaka Khan, had a particular reason for wanting to go to this compound. He sabotaged the plane, and why? He wanted to go there because when he was a boy, he was abused by the main compound guy. Yeah, abused. Chained up. Abused. And that is brought to light after they do various tasks and everything. He goes out shooting some poachers with BB guns, which was kind of funny. Shot him in the ass and scared him off. Maybe they bled in the water and alligators attacked him. You're a fucking poacher. Fuck you. You fucking deserve to turn a gun. Nope, not going to say that. You basically deserve to Cobain yourself is what I'll say. So let's word it correctly. What ended up basically happening is Shaka's like, okay, this is why I wanted to get here. He had to lie to his friends. And that Awa woman, the deaf mute, she can tell who they are. Says, either tell me or I'll expose you. So he ends up killing the leader of the compound. And then the cop, there's a cop that's also there. And the cop says, okay, I'm going to get my units here. No, you can't. Why? I gave them some gold that we had in our plane. There's gold in their plane. Because that was part of the haul that Felix had. And so the cops are paid off. So everything's really, really fucking good. Except not. Because it turns out this guy, Omar, he was evil. Pure fucking evil. And he kept Shaka prisoner. It turned out he was the lone barrier in this village, protecting them from some evil spirits. Some evil spirits that take the form of, like, locusts and butterflies, coming together, human centipeding themselves together, and having weird horns and stuff like that. They were called Sirabana, the Banooks. They were definitely interesting looking. Since it was indie, they kept the shots of the creatures a little bit, vague. But man, once it kicked in, it's like, oh, he was their ferryman. You never want to hear the word ferryman, especially when you're in a weird location like that. Because ferryman, you don't want to be the ferryman. You don't want to mess with the ferryman. Google ferryman if you don't want to know what the fuck I mean. Not the movie, the actual terminology. Whew. They messed up with that, and now they have to basically cover their ears because these demons try to get inside their heads, and Felix ended up dying because they got inside his head, because it turns out, oh yeah, you killed their leader or their ferryman, even though he was pure evil. Now you have to fight for your life. So they will devour your senses one by one. They end up having to, these flashbacks showed that Shaka would end up in the water with his chains and with a gun that he would end up using to kill Omar. And there were that later, while they're trying to battle these creatures, that they can kill and they can't kill. It's a bit weird. They can shoot them, they can stab them. Maybe it works. Maybe it doesn't. This is where the movie started to lose me a little bit, but it is what it is. Suddenly there was this chapel. All these children were there, just like Shaka. So they were kept there as basically Omar's currency. And oh boy, the implications just really goddamn bad. And then people start dying. Pretty much everybody dies. Well, almost. There's, people were getting devoured. They were getting devoured from the inside out. Awa, Rafa, I believe it's Rafa, and Shaka end up going on a boat. Shaka's scared of water because, one of the final flashbacks we see was the bodies trying to pull him under, the undead, these particular spirits, because he was bonded to them, because he was the currency. So guess what happens? They get on this boat, not the banana boat, and he gets drugged down because he's the currency. He's the sacrifice. So basically, Awa and Rafa survive. And there you go. And these spirits just go away, I guess, or float off into the sunset? Not exactly sure about that. The movie ends rather abruptly. It has a good pace and certainly kicks it in high gear once that second act rolls. It starts to stumble a little bit in the third act, but not in like the worst way, not in a deal breaker way. I will have to give it a B+ though. It is quite good. Beautiful locations, good pace, good acting. Doesn't have a lot of deep narrative outside of revenge and everything, and the whole thing about revenge consuming you, and the only way you will be able to be free from it is to drown. It makes sense. Revenge is all consuming. So yes, B+. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Like, share, subscribe, Twitter handle in the description. I'm John Ritlin. I'll see you soon.